Okay, we on live.
All right. Shabbat Shalom. This is the brothers of GMS New Orleans coming at you with another live Shabbat lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahasham,
Bashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Bahasham,
Bahashem,
Barakaha Kodash.
Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. And to the few sincere Akwath who are diligently learning in silence, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom.
And with this Shabbat lesson, we're going to get it started with Second Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6.
Con, it's the book of Second Thessalonians, chapter 1, verse 6. It says, "Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you."
And that's straight to the point. It is a righteous thing with Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai to recompense tribulation, trouble unto them that trouble you. And hey, who's been troubling the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out here? These heathen nations, chiefly you Edomites, you so-called white people, especially in Babylon the Great, the United States of America. So point blank period right there, the Most High is telling you that, hey, it's a righteous thing to bring tribulation upon you, and He is going to bring tribulation upon you. And there's nothing you can do to, pass up that cup of slavery that's quickly getting passed into your hands. You Edomites are at the end of your rulership, and now you're about to, get that big payback, as James Brown said. And what inspired this lesson was an article that one of the brothers posted in the chat from USA Today, and if we can get that article, we'll go into it a little bit. Just another example, Esau, trying to get absolution or forgiveness or sweep, all the crimes he's committed against you Israelites, or you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, sweep everything he did to you under the rug by giving you the crumbs off his table and thinking that everything's going to be all right. But nothing will be all right except, hey, you getting exactly what you did to the children of Israel done unto you in the kingdom of heaven, which is what is coming your way. You got that article?
Con. You sure? It says New York to study reparations for slavery, possible direct payments to so-called black residents.
Hey, that's what the wicked trying to seek to please the poor, as it says in the book of Job. But and with the precepts we're going to get into, which I know a lot of you brothers and sisters are aware of by this point, hey, the only reparations or recompenses that are coming to make good for everything you Edomites did to the children of Israel is your blood, sweat, and tears in captivity. But
It
yeah, we
says
can you got it.
it says New York will study the generational impacts of slavery through a new state commission to consider reparations for Israelite residents. Governor Kathy
Hope.
Hochul, on Tuesday approved the study of slavery's legacy. The commission will possibly make recommendations for monetary compensation or other reparations for New York's Israelite residents under the effort. The Democrat controlled state legislature approved the measure in June.
If I could say real quick, and it's going to say it in the next paragraph, but New York and California are known as what so-called blue or liberal states, and you always got these Democrats trying to be the those that stand up for you Israelites, but hey, those Democrats and those Republicans do not have you Israelites' best interests at heart. They're just those two horns of a lamb on that dragon, as it says in Revelation chapter 13. They only follow after the dictates of the elites, and the dictates of the elites is to what? Keep you from your identity so they can keep you in captivity. And they may try to throw you some crumbs here or there, but that's not going to placate the judgments of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, which is coming to the entire nation of Esau Edom from the very top to the lowest of the low.
I got a quick precept for you, brother.
Khan. You can get that precept and you can read that paragraph out. Baba Kasha.
Kind of real quick to back up your point. This is Proverbs 11 and 21. It says, "Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but
Hey,
the
point
seed
blank.
of the righteous shall be undelivered."
Khan, and you see we got an example of hand joining hand right up there. You got that Turbo Coon, Al Sharpton, a bunch of other bald faced, coons up there. Of course, you got Eve in the background. Well, what the serpent, that daddy, the devil, joining hands to bring so-called equity and racial justice for the hundreds of years of affliction that have been happening to the children of Israel, which are still happening unto this very day. But as the brother brought out in that Proverbs 11 and 21, the wicked shall not go unpunished. And as it further says in Ezekiel 31, hey, him that is helping and him that is hoping, them that go down to Egypt shall all fall together. So Esau's going down, and you coons that are holding hands with Esau are going down too. But that's another topic entirely. We're sticking on Esau right now and the recompense that is coming for him, and no 30 acres and a mule, or a couple of $1,000 in reparation money, or paying your rent for your apartment is not going to stop Esau from escaping his judgment. Khan, Khan.
It says New York became the second state to consider reparations, following a similar path to California, where a commission recommended a range of policies to offset the impact of slavery and racism.
Which is impossible to do because the whole thing is structural.
Yeah.
The society was built off of, the backs of you Israelites and keeping you, as second class citizens. But I see you want to make a point, Amawad.
Oh yeah, just backing you up. This whole country is built on the oppression of the 12 tribes of Israel. There's nothing that's going to offset the impact of slavery and racism, because there would be no more America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Jake, pretty much Jake is the only thing that's keeping this country, running up until this very day. So if Esau, you got these Edomites out here that say go back to Africa, or go back to Mexico or whatever. If all the Israelites actually left this country, this place would go ass up overnight. So what does that mean? Esau is going to keep you in captivity, working 2 to 3 jobs, busting your back, doing the manual labor and all the jobs that keep this country going, until we get taken out of this place. But there's another point I wanted to hit. If you could scroll down to the part where it says slavery's legacy in New York.
Slavery's legacy in New York. State and local lawmakers and racial justice advocates, including Reverend Al Sharpton, praised the study as an historic step towards making amends for the unjust role slavery played in shaping New York, as well as lingering negative impacts of racism and racial disparity.
And look, they say things have gotten better, for you so-called Negroes, especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in America. But look at this current generation: single parent households, drug infested neighborhoods, a bunch of Jakes in jail, broken families, all that. And this is from what? What did a lot of this stem from? Them Democrats back in the 60s with the Civil Rights Act and, feminism and, the welfare state to so-called help you, which has only just made you and put you in that much worse of a situation. Keep going. You can read the next 2 paragraphs and then that'll be it with the article.
It says the first enslaved Israelites arrived in New York in the 1620s and built some of the earliest infrastructure and buildings, including the wall that gives Wall Street its name, state lawmakers noted.
Hey, and Wall Street is what? That main, economic center in America. So that was even built off the backs of you Israelites. I believe Black Friday dealt with what? The trade of you Israelites at like a discounted price. Hence why it was called Black Friday.
It says prior to the American Revolution in the late 1700s, there were more enslaved Israelites in New York City than in any other city except Charleston, South Carolina. At the time, the population of enslaved Israelites accounted for 20% of New York's population, while 40% of colonial New York households owned enslaved Israelites, state officials said.
Point blank period. These Edomites still own you Jakes to this very day, because what? When you go to sleep tonight, when you're going to wake up and clock in and go work for your slave master in the morning, still, subject under payments and being under these Edomites. But hey, we're at the end of Edom's rulership, and it's about time where, the Most High is about to recompense tribulation on those, that troubled us. And we're going to go into, the precepts to, further show that point, which as we get closer and closer to the end of things, they're going to get, and more of these prophecies are just seen out there to where people can't deny it. And these prophecies are just going to beat and sound that much louder. Because if you see the prophecies of Jacob's trouble taking place right now, what comes next? The prophecies of you Edomites and you other heathens going into hardcore bondage and slavery for afflicting the children of Israel. But we can get that Jeremiah 30 and 16.
This is Jeremiah 30, verse 16. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
And hey, we can clearly see that you Edomites, you Ishmaelites, or so-called Arabs, you Hamites, or so-called Africans, hey, y'all devoured us during the transatlantic slave trade. The Hamites helped in gathering us up. The Ishmaelites, built the slave ships, and there was also the Arab slave trade and sold us unto you Grecians, you Edomites. And we were brought to all ends of the earth to what? Build up Esau, Edom's current power structure. Keep going on.
Baba Gashah, if I could add to you real quick, brother.
Kind of
Like I
got it.
said, that's something that that we all need to know, man. Is that every nation on this earth, that is not with the tribe of Israel, the so-called Native Americans, the Hispanics and Negroes of our tribes, they've had a part of our downfall. They definitely played a part inside of the financing, the slavery, and so on and so forth. Henceforth, that's why we don't mess with them. That's why they're the heathen and we are the chosen.
It just to back you up, in Psalms 83, it mentions all the nations that had confederated themselves against the children of Israel. And, of
Yep.
course, we've got, more modern examples like Ham, Ishmael, and Esau. But when we go to the book of Judges, we're under the captivity of the Moabites, the Ammonites. During the Persian Empire, we were under the captivity of the Elamites. So all that throughout the thousands of years of these different kingdoms have to be accounted for, and they will be accounted for in the kingdom of heaven. It's just that you Edomites did the most in afflicting the children of Israel. So you're going to receive the most in recompense for it.
Okay. But this is Jeremiah 16, so like Jeremiah 30, verse 16. It says, every one of them shall go and take into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
And all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And if one of you brothers could give me that Revelation 13 real quick, hey, that perfectly backs that up. We're getting precepts from the Old Testament talking about you heathens getting a recompense and going into slavery. And if you want to discount the Old Testament, we can just easily go to the last book of the New Testament saying the same thing.
Is Revelations 13 and 9, and it reads, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
The transatlantic slave trade, the triangular slave trade, the Grecian captivity, us being in captivity under the Romans.
It reads, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Antiochus
Here,
Epiphanes, 70 AD, the siege of Masada, what, colonialism, slavery, the Reconstruction era, all the way up until today, with our people getting gunned down in the streets by these cops or just these random vigilante racist Edomites, and these other heathens as well, that kill our people and get no recompense for it.
Hey, we supposed to move on and forget about this, right?
Hey, tell that to Amalek over in the Holy Land right now. Tell that to Esau when it comes to Pearl Harbor, the Alamo or 9/11.
the rest of Revelations 13 and 10, and it reads, here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Hey, we are patiently and diligently waiting for these things to come to pass. And we can clearly see that we are at the door of it. All these prophecies are flying off the pages, like the elder brother Malcolm likes to say. And 2024 is looking to be a very eventful year. Abaratazad is the year that we get out. But hey, Apostle Tahar made a very, powerful statement. We are literally months away from salvation in the kingdom of heaven, whether that be 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, etc., etc. That just goes to show that our salvation is nearer than when we believe, and the damnation of you Edomites is nearer than when we believe. But I see you had a point you wanted to make, Amawad.
Yeah, real quick, this precept to back up what you just said. This Ecclesiastes 3, verse 15. It says, "That which have been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past."
A point blank period. The Most High requireth that which is past, which backs up that Jeremiah 30 and 16 and that Revelation 13, 9 to 12, no, 9 to 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Every single, the Most High is not going to leave any stone unturned when it comes to recompensing you heathens, chiefly you Edomites, for what you've done to the children of Israel.
I got a precept for you.
Khan, you got it out.
Con, it's the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 6. It says, "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border."
Hey, I start up at verse 3, Baba Kashab.
Con, I was just trying to get to the point.
Okay.
It's Joel 3 and 3. It says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink."
And now you can jump back down to that verse 6. But hey, we've got historical accounts of what you given a boy for an harlot. There's that one Jake that Esau used as a buck on a breeding farm to sleep with hundreds of women a day to make more slaves, and selling a girl for wine that they might drink. Selling our women as bed wenches. Selling the children. All that as servants, slaves, and what for gold and silver, wine, and those musket guns.
Mhm.
When you look at the triangular slave trade, what did it involve? Taking slaves from the west coast of Africa to the Americas to what? Work on those plantations to make those cash crops to what? Bring it back to Europe to sell those, finished and refined goods.
Yeah, the sugar and all, sugar,
The
the canes and all.
the tobacco, the cotton,
Hmm.
the alcohol, everything.
But we supposed to forget about that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's verse 7. It says, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head."
Khan, I'm gonna just go through that 6 and 7 real quick. The children of Judah, your so-called Negroes of the Southern Kingdom, and the children of Jerusalem, the Northern Kingdom, so-called Latinos and Native Americans, have ye sold unto the Grecians, you Edomites, that ye might remove them far from their border, which you did. You took, for one, we got removed from our border with 70 AD, when we scattered into the west coast of Africa and into Europe. Then you already had the northern kingdom over into the Americas. But then when Esau came back into his power with the Renaissance, he took us further out of those lands and scattered us around the planet. And what, you know, our brothers and sisters that were already in the Americas, you stole their lands and put them into captivity. Verse 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And it's going to say it, in the next verse.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 8. It says, "And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for Yahweh has spoken it."
So what? When you read about those accounts of Jake families getting put on those auctioning blocks and sold from their lands and scattered across the planet, the exact same thing's going to happen to you, Esau. You're going to go onto those auctioning blocks, Jake going to slap you on the back of the head, show that you have all your teeth in your mouth, and say, "Oh, this is a strong buck right here," sell you off to go work on a plantation halfway across the world from your original home. lot, also, being in the land of Israel, building up the kingdom of heaven.
I got a
I
precept
want
for
to
you.
back that.
Con. And could somebody hold for me Lamentations chapter 4, verses 21 to 22? But y'all got your precepts.
I got that Lamentations.
Con.
You
Whoever,
gonna go on?
yeah,
You gonna
whoever
go
was
on, Moab?
first.
You got it.
Con. This is Isaiah 49 and 22. It says, "Thus said the Lord thy power, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders." And the Gentiles right here is going into the heathen. Okay. And it says, "And the kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me."
And those kings and queens are going into you Rothschilds, you Rockefellers, hey, you Gil Bateses out there, you Mark Zuckerbergs, all you higher ups out there. It just recently, what information's been coming out that Mark Zuckerberg's been building a underground bunker in Hawaii. Why is that? Because a lot of you higher ups, you kings and queens, are going to survive this destruction to come, so you can get those chains and fetters of iron slapped on you, as it says in Psalms 149, because y'all are going to be the first crop of slavery in the kingdom of heaven. And then, as it said, you're going to bend under the children of Israel and lick the dust of our feet, and be our nursing fathers and nursing mothers, our servants and our slaves and all that. So, like I said earlier, everybody from the top to the bottom of Esau, Edom, as well as you other heathens, the only thing you have to look forward to is captivity and that recompense coming your way for what you've done to the children of Israel throughout the ages. But again, at the top of that list are you damn Edomites. But you got it, Amawad.
Yeah, it's just to back up what you were saying. This is Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Khan, and what some of those curses involve? Ye shall build a house, but another shall inhabit. Ye shall plant a vineyard, but another shall drink the wine thereof. Being an curse shall ye be when ye go out, and curse shall ye be in the field. A curse shall you be when you're in the city, or whatever. You Edomites just being a constant prey and in captivity in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to build up our palaces, you're going to plant our vineyards, but what? You're not going to partake in the fruits of it. The only thing you're going to partake of is those whips hitting you on the back and that gruel that we're going to give you to eat, and then put you in those holes where you're going to stay until you're needed for work again the next day.
If I could say, brother, that's their blessing right there. That's going to be their blessing in the side of our kingdom. Licking the dust off our feet and serving us. That's the best that you'll ever get from this point on.
Khan, and hey, what Jake on this side can get a so-called, he looks like he's making it, he'd be a celebrity, a politician, even though it's all bullshit and Esau still got his hand in their bag. Jake can seem like he's so-called succeeding in this society, but in the kingdom of heaven, there's going to be no successful Edomites. There's going to be no Edomite damn near the level of an animal that an Israelite owns in the kingdom of heaven. You're just going to be straight groveling slave, just getting the worst in the kingdom. You had a point you want to make?
I got a precept for you.
Oh, con.
Quick pre. It's Isaiah 51 and 22. Thus said the Lord, thy Lord, and thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over, and thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over, And if I could make a quick point, Elder Yashawamba went into this particular scripture a while back, and he was going into it. Man, these devils literally. There's a picture, right? Floating across the internet during the time of slavery. These devils actually had us as footstools. Okay, little black, so-called Negro children bent over as footstools. All right, laying across mud. They actually walked over us, man. All right, and it's both symbolic and they did it physically, man. We're gonna do the same unto them, all right, but in a worse fashion. Okay, these devils, they didn't take to mind the things that they were doing, that a recompense will come back towards them. All right, just the
Con.
first the point that we going into. You got it out.
You can actually bring out that Lamentations now because it's speaking about that precept the brother just brought out that what I shall take the cup of trembling out of your hand and give it to those that afflict you. And what's that cup of trembling going to entail? Getting devoured, spoiled, and going into captivity. And that also backs up what that the Isaiah, I believe it was 49 that the brother Bayan brought out, where it said, they shall, bend down and lick the dust of thy feet. What did it say in the precept he brought out? That they shall say, bow down so that we may go over you, and you prostrated or laid yourselves down. Pretty much us, bowing down to them and licking the dust of their feet, being in subjection under them, and them being our overlords, our masters.
Con. It's Lamentations chapter 4, and you wanted 21 and 22, right?
Con.
Con. Verse 21, it reads, Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall thou pass unto thee. Salakia. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked.
And hey, rejoice and be glad right now, Edom, especially now that you've literally got seconds on the clock left of your rulership. As an elder brother at the top always says, hey, go max out your credit cards, use that 401k, just live out your heart's desires, because once you're taken out of power, the only thing to come is hardcore subjection, that cup being passed unto you, you being made drunken and being naked out here, which you're being made naked right now spiritually, because what the men of the Lord are exposing you through these scriptures, who you are, the wickedness you've done, and what the recompense that's coming forward.
I got a precept too.
Okay, me too.
Con, you got it. Then we'll get back to that Lamentations.
This is Isaiah chapter 60 verse 3, and then this is what's coming for the nation of Israel. This was coming to you Edomites and you nations. All right, Isaiah 60 and 3, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thy eyes around about and see. All day gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted. What is converted?
Yeah, converted.
Converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. Multitudes of camels shall cover thee in the what is
Dromedaries.
dromedaries of the Midians and
Mm-hmm. Ephah.
the Ephus. All day from Shabbat
Sheba.
Sheba shall come. They said they shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth their praises of the Lord. All right, and I'm gonna jump down to the next part. I'm gonna
I
get to the
think
main
like
part.
verse 11. Oh,
Yeah,
shit, verse 10. Con.
10. The sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have mercy on thee. Therefore,
Con,
thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. All right, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that thy kings may be brought, that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
con. And could you also finish it off in verse 14? But before you read that, I just want to, those precepts pretty much break themselves down. But hey, it says the forces of the Gentiles shall be brought unto us, all their bestly goods, the best of their gold and silver, silk, frankincense, myrrh, these other natural resources, their daughters, the first fruits of their animals, everything being brought unto us, the best of things being brought unto us. And as it said in verse 12, hey, those that will not come up and worship us, they're going to get that Zechariah 14 treatment where we're going to cause their lands not to get rain and just, send pestilences and plagues and, calamities upon them because we're going to have the spiritual powers and the control of the angels to do so.
Yeah, it says in 14, the sons also of them that afflict thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at thy soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion, all right, of the Holy One of Israel.
Hey, the sons of them that afflicted thee shall come and bend down unto thee, and what? Lick the dust of our feet, symbolically being under our subjection and being our slaves. And then what? Not only that, but they're gonna acknowledge that we are the sons of the power, that we are Yasharala, the Israelites. And even if they, don't believe it in their spirits, hey, because we're gonna be able to read your minds, you're still gonna have to do it. And if you don't do it, hey, you're going to get your neck bone disconnected. And it's as simple as that. But you can go back to that Lamentations 4 and 22. And if any of you brothers don't have any other precepts, we'll close it out in Numbers, that Numbers 35 and 33, Baba Kashah.
God, this back in Lamentations chapter 4 and 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity. O daughter of Edom, he will discover thy sins.
Point blank, period. He will visit, he will visit thee, O daughter of Edom, and he will discover thine iniquity, and recompense you for your sins. And we're seeing that the skirts, Salakia, that the skirts of Babylon and Esau as a whole is being lifted up, beginning with the prophets all the way down to these other so-called truth tellers out here. A lot of people have been going into the dirty history of you Edomites, and how you treated the children of Israel, and how you treated these other nations, and how you got your rulership and your power by rape, robbery, and murder. But there's a part two to that. There's a part two to manifest destiny, like the elder brother Malcolm of Chicago also says, that involves you Edomites drinking that cup down to the dregs, and going into the worst slavery seen to mankind. It's going to make ours seem like a day on Sesame Street. Hey, as it says in Revelation 18, do double unto them as they have done unto thee. And there can be no reparations, no holding hands and coming together and eating popcorn. And that's going to, avert these prophecies from coming to their fulfillment. But did you have something, Amawad?
Uh, it passed. It's all good.
Oh, kind. Did any other brothers have any precepts they want to bring out?
I was holding that Revelation 18:6 that you kind of quoted, but
We don't have to worry about that. But real quick, let me see.
He said the number's 35, eh?
Kind. But before we get that numbers 35, Quashab, since you're in Revelations, could you get me a Revelation 2, 22 to 27, 25 to 27, Baba Quashab?
uh,
And this is in red letters, so it's Yahushua speaking. And as we read in that Second Thessalonians, it's a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense those that have troubled us. And hey, It's the same thing for his son as well. And his son's going to get in on the action too. So called Jesus Christ, who you think's coming to save everybody, is coming to bring that destruction to you, Edomites, and, bring that captivity to you, bash you in with that rod of iron as well.
God, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 25. It says, "But that which ye have already hold fast till I come."
This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, this patience and faith of the saints, as it said back in that Revelation 13. We know these things are coming to pass, but we're not losing the patience or faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai that he's going to bring these things to pass. And we just got to hold up our end and stay faithful unto him.
Verse 26, it says, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father."
Hey, he that overcometh, like give power over the nations, that they shall rule them with the rod of iron, to break them in pieces, like the potter's vessel. And we know that's made out of clay. So what? When you hit a piece of clay pottery with a rod of iron, it just completely shatters it. So that gives you Edomites and you other heathens just an appetizer of the the harshness of the recompense that's quickly coming to you. But whoever was holding that numbers 35 and 33, you got it.
Uh,
I got it.
this is Numbers 35 and 33. It says, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it."
And America is soaked in the blood of the Israelites. They've got that place in Mississippi where so many Israelites were killed there. That their dead bodies became fertilizer for the fruits, and I think they call it the blood bowl or something like that. It's called something in Mississippi where so many Israelites were killed there that their bodies fertilized the land to where a bunch of like oranges grew there.
It's about Mississippi Punch Bowl.
The
I think
Mississippi Punch Bowl kind. So
it's
this
also known as
you
the
got it.
Devil's Punch Bowl too.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was
That's another name they call it. You got it.
hey, that's fitting. The Devil's Punch Bowl, and they also got what these different drown towns out here, where Jake had thriving communities, and Esau, literally drowned them out and built like resort towns and communities off of it. America is synonymous with the captivity and the blood, sweat, and tears of the Israelites. So, as it said in Numbers 35, the land cannot be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed blood in it. All you Edomites in America are going to be wiped off the face of the earth by those nukes. And what? We've been scattered to one end of the earth and to the other. So our blood has been, shed from one end of the earth and to the other. So what? This planet is going to be cleansed by the blood, sweat, and tears of you heathens, building up the kingdom of heaven, getting that recompense. But you got it, Koshab. I see you want to make a point.
Hey, Khan, I just got a quick precept, brother, just to back up their numbers. Uh, this is Ezekiel chapter 35. I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, thus said Jehovah, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit If thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee."
And
You
what
know,
was Esau? Oh, you got it. You got it.
yeah, just backing up the point, like you were saying, you made that huge bloodbath for us. You always going in Mississippi or whatnot. You know, hey man, that's a recompense for that. It's gonna be a great bloodbath for you, man. If you read it in NLT, it said, "I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come." So
Hey.
you got it.
And what was Esau's blessing? The sword to get the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. And was it also say, he that liveth by the sword, shall die by the sword? And also in that Revelation 13, They that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. The Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai puts you Edomites in a trick bag. Your very same blessing is about to turn into your curse. And since you did, despise blood, but actively reveled in it, drink that cup of blood down. Hey, blood is going to pursue thee and drown thee. But did any brothers have any points they want to make or any more precepts? Kind of. Hey, so with that, we hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified by this Shabbat lesson. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakah Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.